Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer, and today I was reminded again of an unfortunate similarity between what the Roman Catholic Church does and many evangelical Christians do and many religious traditionalists do, and what the National Rifle Association does and the gun lobby does, and what you might call the cult of death in America does when it comes to discounting the harm done to children by both religion and religious people and guns. Guns are now the leading cause of death among children in America. That is shocking. Let me repeat, guns, no longer traffic accidents, not disease, but guns, gun violence is the leading cause of death of children in America. Today, there's an article in the Washington Post and the New York Times and other places talking about the fact that Maryland Attorney General Anthony G. Brown, a Democrat, released a report Wednesday detailing decades of alleged sexual abuse by clergy within the Archdiocese of Baltimore alone. And the investigation found that over 600 children, from preschoolers to young adults, suffered sexual abuse and physical torture, in quotes, by more than 150 members of the clergy, priests and bishops, from the mid-1940s to 2002, all of which were covered up by the church. Now, why do I bring this up? Because, of course, after school shootings in America, when children are killed, the gun lobby and the NRA, the Republican Party, and even the justices on the Supreme Court who are conservative shills of the Republican Party say, well, gun rights stand and children being massacred are just somehow collateral damage, a necessary byproduct, unfortunate but necessary, of the right to bear arms. The attitude of the Catholic Church has been the same for centuries. Whether it's burning witches or massacres or wars of religion or the sack of Constantinople by the Roman Catholics coming down from Northern Europe, the molestation of children right here in the Boston Diocese with Bernard Law, who I knew as a bishop, who fled to the Vatican and hid there, was not stripped of being a bishop, by the way, by the Pope, but sheltered there from prosecution here in America. The rationale for the continuance of the Roman Catholic Church is the same. Well, we are the necessary path to salvation. We are the upholders of traditional morality. We are the backbone of the pro-life movement, et cetera, et cetera. And if a few hundred of our priests and bishops molest, torture, hurt, rape children, preschoolers, toddlers, whatever it may be, altar boys, that's just the collateral damage necessary to having a celibate priesthood, the most bizarre idea of sexuality that anyone's come up with, celibacy, combined with the continuation of the Roman Catholic Church, which trumps the necessity for truth. So it's more important that we continue this tradition than tell the truth about which priest or bishop is raping a child or covering up for a rapist. So there's a weird symbiotic relationship between the gun lobby, school massacres, and the fact that death by gun is the leading cause of death of children in America today, and the Roman Catholic Church, which sweeps all these things under the rug until it's discovered, scandal after scandal, payout after payout, as a kind of necessary price of admission, but without ever questioning the idea that the right to bear arms itself, or open carry, or carrying concealed weapons, as the Supreme Court is forcing us all to do, in the sense of saying, well, it's unconstitutional to even require background checks and any kind of limitation on age. The fact that these two things coexist, the horror of the mass murders, death by gun being the leading cause of children's death in America, combined with this sheltering of a nest of predators in diocese after diocese, not only in America, but across the world. In Ireland, with their homes for unwed mothers and orphan children, scandal after scandal. Somehow this price is worth paying to do two things. One, keep a celibate priesthood, this devious, weird idea of sexuality that produces deviants and perverts by default, by necessity. And then, in addition to which, the idea that the continuation of this institution, no matter what it does, is worth it. Reminds me of Vladimir Putin. The continuation of the Russian Empire is worth it no matter what it does. It reminds me of the Chinese today and the Communist Party. The continuation of the Communist Party is worth it no matter what must be sacrificed in terms of human rights. The mutilation of any idea of personal liberty and so forth. This is the language of authoritarian dictatorship. It is the language of the Roman Catholic Church. And it is long past time that it be utterly rejected. It is a scandal that someone like Amy Coney Barrett is allowed on the Supreme Court holding the views she holds. One, that the Roman Catholic Church's teaching is somehow moral and sacred, and two, that she will strip women of their right to bodily autonomy because of the teachings of the same church that rapes countless children across the globe, covers this up in the name of their own right to continue to exist, no matter what, as if somehow no price is too high to pay, just as the NRA feels, and the gun lobby, and the white evangelicals who are armed to the teeth with weapons of war in their homes and thousands of rounds of ammunition. It doesn't matter that children are routinely gunned down or killed when they pick up a gun in a home and fire it by accident, or because their dad has suicided and now they commit suicide, whatever it may be. This rolling disaster of gun violence in America is an exact parallel of the rolling disaster of the predatory behavior behind closed doors of the Roman Catholic Church and the tremendous hypocrisy that goes with so much of the conservative movement. For instance, Hillsdale College, where there was a suicide and horror and covering up and all the rest of this, and eventually a changing of management while talking about being a bastion of traditional conservative thought, upholding the Western canon, whatever it may be. Scrape away the surface, and below the contention of the entire conservative movement, Roman Catholic, gun lobby, whatever it may be, it stinks. And it stinks because it does not see the sunshine of daylight and truth. It's one cover-up after another. And then, of course, in the poster boy of Donald Trump and his family, this mobster family, you see exactly that kind of hypocrisy, except that, again, credible accusations of rape, molesting women, proudly claiming he grabs women in the crotch and gets away with it, prosecution for covering up an affair with a porn star, divorce after divorce, but somehow none of that matters in terms of the pro-life lobby, the evangelicals, the family values people, as it doesn't matter with the Roman Catholics that so many of their priests have proved to be rapists. It's time we call this, and I'm sorry to bring this up at this time of Easter and the celebration of the resurrection and all the rest of it, this nice window dressing of the holidays that we call religious. We really need to say this has to stop. We really need to say the Roman Catholic Church is not worth sustaining. We really need to say the gun lobby does not have an argument. Let's look at the facts instead of the window dressing. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaefer.